Thank you, all of you, for being here. It really means a lot. And forgive my voice, I strained it a bit a little while ago. It's been some years, as some of you know, since we've been able to gather and get together and enjoy ourselves. Because one of the things that I find so extraordinarily comforting about the work with death penalty focus, the work with people who are involved in this effort to end the use of the death penalty, is that they are also decent. I find myself in the company of decent human beings, and it is such a thrill to spend this time with such people, because I get too often the opportunity to spend time with the other folks, and that's not so much fun. Governor Newsom was really wonderful in the opening, and I love the fact that he is so straight about saying we're going to end this, we're doing everything we can. They are really going to redefine San Quentin. That is just extraordinary. And he said, and I thought about it a lot, he said that, it's really, the question of the death penalty, are you for it or against it, is really a moral question, which sort of implies that people who disagree with us are being immoral, and I don't think that's the case. I think some people feel very strongly that the death penalty is necessary or appropriate, and I disagree. But I think after 40 years in this business of trying to educate and move people on this question, I've come to the understanding that it's not as simple as are you going to believe that the death penalty is appropriate or not, because one of the founders of our nation, Benjamin Rush, a doctor, Benjamin Rush, set up something called the Philadelphia, I think it was, Pennsylvania Prison Project. And Dr. Rush was, I think, a man ahead of his time. He was anti-slavery. He was, I just heard somebody call you, Paula. He was quite an extraordinary man. And he said the death penalty was wrong. We should not use the death penalty because, he said, it brutalizes us all. He didn't say it brutalizes the person who's being killed. He said it brutalizes us all. And I think that's an important thing to understand. Killing people and having a part of the process of the government that you operate and you are responsible for, killing people brutalizes everyone. I was reading an interview with an executioner, a man who actually, and two assistants, all of whom had done executions in, I believe, South Carolina for many years. And the man said, after leaving the office and thinking about it, he said, I feel as though I've been condemned by God. I met and read some of the things that the woman had said, who was head of a section of prison guards. And she said, you have to understand that the PTSD that the prison guards feel as a result of being involved in this situation, in these circumstances, is doing great harm. I was yesterday fortunate enough to be in a meeting with Governor Newsom, and he talked not only about ending the death penalty and not only about transforming San Quentin, but he said the union, the guards union, most of them are in support of what I'm doing. And that was a surprise to me because they've always been our enemies on this issue. But he said, no, he said, the head of the union and the warden at San Quentin said that the people doing this work are suffering. He said the number of people in the ranks of prison guards who are suicidal, who are involved in alcohol or drugs to the point that it's ruining their home lives, who are distanced from their families. He said these people are suffering. And so I think we need to understand that Benjamin Rush knew what he was talking about. The process of killing human beings destroys and brutalizes everyone associated with it, not just the prisoner, not just the executioner, not just the judge or the jury, but all the people who associate themselves with this process by refusing to speak up against it. Silence gives consent. And as long as we continue to be silent on this issue, it will continue. But it is not continuing. We are making progress. As the governor said tonight, we're now in the majority. The killing states, when we started this work, in the 70s, 80s, there were only 12 states that did not have a death penalty. Today, 24 states in the United States do not have a death penalty, and 4 more have moratoria on the death penalty. So we are now in the majority. It's important to know that this is a race for decency. It's a race for the best in all of us. And it's a race away from the brutalization process that is rampant in our country today. If you read the papers every day, we have mass shootings. We have people attacking each other. We have people apologizing as they take the rights away from some of the members of our society. There is this brutal behavior going on, and we need to get rid of the death penalty so that people can begin to believe again in the value of human life and the way in which we live our lives. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It means a great deal to me and to all of us who work on this issue and to all of you who are involved in the work you do. It is beyond what one might have hoped a number of years ago. We are winning this struggle, and we are moving people and changing hearts. And that's, I think, an extraordinary thing to be able to know.